Hello and welcome viewers to A2 African Australian Live. Today I'm joined with Nixon and David. We are going to be speaking on Miss and Mr. Africa and what Miss and Mr. Africa is all about 2021. Now I'm just going to get David to introduce a little bit about himself and then Nixon.
Hello everyone, my name is David. I'm a past winner of Mr. Africa 2017 and now I have the privilege of also being a mentor for the contestants.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Nixon Sola. I've been mentoring Miss and Mr. Africa for past couple of years now, I believe 2014. So yeah.
Nice, thank you guys. Well, I'm going to start with David today to start speaking about Miss and Mr. Africa. And without further ado, David, I just want to ask, how did we get involved with Miss Africa?
Well, as I said previously, I did have the opportunity to compete in Miss Africa and Mr. Africa 2017, and I was lucky enough to win it. So that's my first initial involvement with the organization. I was also lucky enough to be approached to be a mentor for the other contestants, and it was an offer I could not refuse, to be honest. So that's how I got involved in Miss Africa.
Nice. What made you think about Miss Africa? Like, was it a friend that referred you, or?
Yeah. Very interesting question. So I was at university at the time, in my first year. I wasn't a shy individual, but I definitely enjoyed trying new things. And my friends told me about this amazing, beauty pageant, as they called it. And I thought, why not? Let me try it out. And yeah, that's honestly like how I first heard about it, and that's how I got involved. And it honestly changed my life. So yeah.
Wonderful. Miss Africa has always been a positive event growing up here in Adelaide. So for me, especially when I seen you there, I was, that's awesome, because you're getting out of your comfort zone and you're trying new things, Yeah. And also, like, what aspect or impact would such a social event have with the community, the wider African diaspora, as well as the African Australian community,
Definitely.
and like the community in general?
So yes, so as you said, I've been in Adelaide for a very long time now, and when I was younger, I did attend a few Miss Africas, and it was amazing. It was amazing to see such a diverse group of African cultures and countries come together, because apart from that event, I wouldn't really see people from either Burundi or other South African countries or even West African countries. So I think it definitely brought a lot of the African countries and people together, and that was very important to try to unify us as an African community. And in terms of Australia in general, it does the same again, but in a more wider aspect. So even people from other states can come and meet people from Adelaide, which either we probably never meet, but it gives us that opportunity. So I think that's very good.
Thank you, David. I think that's a very positive impact in the community, and for me, it's something I've always been proud of having here in Adelaide. So yeah, kudos to Miss and Mr. Africa. Now, can you tell us a bit about the team, the Miss Africa management team? What's involved? How is it? How do you guys work together to bring this together?
Yep. So the Miss Africa, the Miss and Mr. Africa team is basically made up of a few individuals who really tried to work hard to first and foremost build and develop the contestants to become more confident individuals in themselves. And as African individuals in Australia, we tend to lose sight of who we are and what we're about. So again, it brings back how different we are and tries to celebrate that. So our role is to try to support the contestants as much as we can. In that, also working on the event, managing, and also and that's basically it.
Wonderful. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Now I'm going to go over to Nixon to speak to him about his roles in Miss and Mr. Africa. And with that being said, Nixon, so tell me, so you're one of the mentors. What is the process from start to finish, the selection process?
For the selection process, what we do is actually obviously we put words out there to our different social platforms to create the casting call, like every other beauty pageant and beauty events as well. So we create obviously the casting call, and then on the day we select few others that we know. Obviously, we can work with trying to mentor and trying to get them to the level of getting on the stage. So that's pretty much our first, our first step on that. And then the second step is just obviously training, which we had about 16 weeks of training. And obviously, from the day they start the training with us to the day they get on the catwalk is for me it's actually a total difference, total different person, which is obviously an amazing thing to see. So the process just we usually just take it day by day. Reason why is just because obviously those individuals that comes to us and to train, those Miss and Mr. Africans, most of them, 99% of them, is the first time being on a stage, first time being on, in the eyes of the public, beside friends and family. So it is obviously for everybody, anyone you put there, it will be a nerve-wracking situation. So day by day, that's what we pretty much do as a process.
That's wonderful. And also, would you say that confidence is one of the aspects that you mentor out? Are there any other aspects that you've seen during this process and other processes during the years?
As we not only just mentoring, the contestant how to walk, how to speak on the microphone. It is as well, how to present ourselves, in the eyes of the public, trying to make a better version of African in Australia and especially Adelaide. So that is, the aim is to clear the image as much as we can, which we usually do beautifully. So yeah.
Thank you, man. So, what would you say makes the whole event successful? What aspects are required? Because it's a hard job. It's a hard job to put it all together.
Yeah, this is a good one. Look, to make it for Miss Africa to be Miss Africa, it starts, from obviously from the brothers and sisters at home to us behind the stage. It is a hard thing to learn, to be honest. Planning of anything, is never easy. Is just, you can be into the industry for years, but this is another level of training. So what we start is, it starts from anyone that's, just giving the word out there to anyone that's on the stage. So every single one of us being in that room on that day makes it part of what it is today and what you.
How strict do you have to be on the contestants? What are there foundation rules?
There are foundation rules, but again, in order to make the job well, to make the job done, to get the job done, it is as we have to be as straight as possible to get it done. Our standards is pretty much, I am an professional model. So our standards is just as much as the high, our high ranking modeling agency in Australia. So our standards is just as much there. What I've learned as a professional model is pretty much what we give them as well as a lesson.
And what is that? Like, what are the things besides the personal aspects do contestants get out of Miss Africa? Is there some sort of publicity after? Is there?
It is, well, without naming a particular name, we have the world best models coming from East Africa, South Australia, which is for us is an honor. Is amazing. We get a lot. We have David's been participating with so many national events. Just from being from East Africa, winning the beauty pageant as well. And even though the ones that still don't win, have still stand in that same that same rank of being invited into different things and different shoots and stuff. So there is a lot of opportunity to that because it's a gateway. It's a gateway for us Africans in Nigeria.
Open
Yes.
through the beauty.
Yeah. Yes.
That's amazing, man.
So it is beautiful. Yeah.
Awesome. Now I'm going to go over to you, David. What is important about adding Mr. Africa to the title of Miss and Mr. Africa? Was there any hesitation?
I think adding Mr. Africa was always going to happen. As we know, a kingdom can't be run just with a queen. You need a king as well.
Yeah.
I think it was always the vision, but beauty pageants are normally known to be, only Miss Africa and Miss Space. I think adding Miss Africa really opened the gates to a different side of the modeling world that a lot of us don't know about, because we always see the female models, but there's also the male models. So I think that really allowed us to tap into a wider range of the community and try to help as much people as we can.
Yeah. So you would agree with saying that it bridged the gender gap?
Definitely.
Modeling, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
What was your experience up there?
I had a really good experience. As I said before, I wasn't the most shyest person, but it definitely allowed me to grow in myself and become a more open person. I built a lot of connections with people. I had a lot of fun. I made new friends, and on top of that, in terms of my thinking towards the African community, I learned so much. I was able to experience a lot of things, and I'm still thankful to this day for that experience. And even if I hadn't won, I still think I would have walked away with some really good life experiences. So.
Amazing. Now, this is for the both of you. We'll start with David. So, going back in depth, what is your opinion on the African image? It could be corporate, it could be the public life, community life. In your experience growing up in Australia, what are the negatives and the positives?
I think growing up as an African Australian in Australia, you definitely do feel like you're starting from the bottom. You do feel out of place sometimes. And as well as that could feel like a negative, it also is a positive to me personally, because I do believe in perseverance. I do believe that the only thing stopping you is yourself. And if we can build that confidence in ourselves as a community, nothing can stop us. And so we have to start from the ground up, but the only way is up, you know what I mean? So once we start from the bottom and we work our way up and we help each other, we can only go up. And I think it's both a positive and a negative. So.
Yeah, I agree with you, because we can sometimes allow the negative to put us down and not make us go forward. And that comes back by the identity, understanding our identity as African Australian, or any other community needs to identify themselves within different communities, And it's been a battle, but I feel like there's a quote that I wrote one time that said, it's going to take a collective to unite a nation. So it doesn't matter what part of Africa you're at, I think it's the one struggle.
Yes.
So we have to be confident in our identity, and in whatever field it is, sport, fashion, arts, music, everything, we need to try to have that positive image. So I agree with you fully. And I just want to hear from you, growing up, what was the positive image?
Well, the experience doesn't just come, it's not just Australia. For me, it is, the majority of the Western countries, we Africans, men of colors, get the same view. It is, what can be reached, with one step or two steps, we have to do about 20 or 50 of them. Which for me, I don't take it as a bad experience on other ways. One thing that I've learned is to use my weaknesses and transform to use my weaknesses and transform it to my strength, which is obviously what I get back from whoever is giving it, is me having to use it, transform it, and then make it a strength for us. So working hard and giving, working twice harder, for me personally, brought me to the places where they can get it easy, but I get it hard. But because I'm working harder for it, I have more passion and more definition of importance of what the thing is for me. So it's always a roller coaster in Australia and everywhere. Being black is not easy, but again, because we as black people living in Australia, we have so much passion into going to get it. Is more like we get there to do it. It is a lot of good stuff. So it's been a good. There's always a good and always a bad, which we all know. It's just about you want it, go get it.
Thank you, Nixon. Yeah, I agree with you fully. You know, I've been here 18 years. Came, you know, as a refugee, and for me, I've grown through the education system, the work life, the social life, and one aspect is like, if you know yourself within, you'll be able to fight those battles. But at the moment, there's a lot who are not able to translate these experiences as face value to how to tackle them. You know, so it's very important that we have, you know, these positive community events and social events to help people see the beauty and the talents of us Africans. You know, it's really good. Quickly, any challenges any of you to face during this process so far?
The process of
the process of Miss Africa and Miss Africa to this week coming this Saturday.
Look, it's always been a challenge. You know, creating an event of that, you know, managing or creating an event of that scale, there's always a bump. There's always, it cannot be smooth. Anyone that says it's smooth is just not true. You know, from obviously the contestants, you know, we know, as you know, the contestants not working up for, you know, various reasons. You know, this person dropping out, that person dropping out. Because obviously the training, you know, as mentor, it is harsh and precise. So we have people, you know, dropping in because obviously they can't, you know, handle the pressure. But the pressure that we put in is not to break them down. You know, is obviously the community that we live in. As we said before, it is hard to get what you want easily, as compared to, you know, if we were in Africa, definitely. But again, it's just the standard. You know, the standards is just hard. So we try and make it a bit hard as well. So it's been a roller coaster. It's been hard. But all is looking pretty good to go. It's very exciting.
Amazing. And you?
Yeah. Well, I think going through this process, you know, as Nixon said, there's going to be good times and going to be hard times. I think tough times don't last, but tough people do, and that's a quote that I really do believe. We've all gone through coronavirus, and you know, it's a new normal for us. It's been 2 years since Miss Africa has run, and so coming back from not having it for 2 years, and now there's almost like an insurgence in everybody just trying to go and experience what they've missed out on for the last 2 years. It can you know, present its challenges, but you know, we are taking it one step at a time, and we are trying to make it better, and we can only try our best, you know, and hopefully it goes well for us.
Amazing. So I think the viewers want to hear, so tell us, on the night, this Saturday on the 6th of November, what can patrons expect on the night?
Well, I'm not sure if Nixon
Nixon wants to say that.
That question was hard, even me. Okay.
Just a rough, like, if you were someone that's never gone.
What I would say if you haven't been to the Miss Africa event, and if you have, obviously we try and make it better every single year. It's a journey. See it as we're taking you to a journey to Africa. Let's call it a safari tour. You know, so we're taking you from, you know, the southern part of Africa all the way to the northern part of Africa. It is a journey where you see, you know, all the beauty of Africa lining up. You know, from beauty, from fashion to music and culture. This is you know, a tour of Africa in a couple of hours. So it's always amazing.
And what countries are involved representing?
We have Congo, Sudan, South Africa, Guinea, Conakry, Nigeria, we have Somalia, we have Liberia. It goes on. I'm not gonna list everything. Come and see if you really.
So you guys heard that first. Tune in. Now I just want to know, and the viewers want to know as well. Where can we get the tickets?
The tickets will be, there's a link on our Instagram page. and that's with the link of the Instagram page of Miss and Mr. Africa South Australia. The link of the tickets is there. Please grab your tickets before it gets late. Yeah, again, it is limited capacity just because of the COVID, but we have enough spot. Just make sure you grab one before it's gone. Yeah.
You guys heard that first. Me personally, I know a few people flying in to check out this amazing event. So please stay tuned. Have a look at the updates on if you can't make it. There will be like live feeds, I'm pretty sure, as well. But yeah. So are there any parting words that you guys want to say before we close off?
I guess to say thank you to everybody that has supported Miss and Mr. Africa since the beginning in 2009 or so. Without you guys, this wouldn't exist and it wouldn't be as big as it is. So I would highly suggest that you come to the event and enjoy an evening full of laughter, full of wisdom, full of emotions, a lot of emotions, and full of an experience that is very hard to get anywhere else. So let's try and empower ourselves as Africans in Adelaide and also in Australia. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the night.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Any words?
He said everything.
Yeah, he
said everything. It's just
perfect. I think that really summed it up as well. Thank you guys for listening. You've been tuning into African Australia here with Nixon and David, speaking on Mr. and Miss Africa 2021.